Hey everyone, this is Lindsay from She Works Abroad, and today we are talking to Catherine Chang, who just made the move from New York City to London. Kat and I worked together to kind of navigate what her opportunities and options were when she was thinking about moving from the US to the UK. So, Kat, congratulations on the big move, and how is everything going in London so far?
Thank you so much. This is week 3 now, so things have been really exciting, but also there's a lot of things to get in order. But I think we're getting a handle of it. The city has been really, really great so far.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So tell us a little bit about when you were originally thinking about, I want to move to the UK and what are my options to be able to do so? Where did you start this process?
Yeah, so I actually just started thinking about moving abroad and I wanted to be in a place that spoke English and that was easier transition. And what actually happened was I was thinking out loud to a colleague and she mentioned that she knew of an opportunity within the same company. That wasn't something that I actually even thought of. I thought I was going to have to start this all over again and start a job search. But she mentioned that and I actually reached out to my then manager to ensure that she was okay with it and then pursue the opportunity internally. So things did move a little bit faster there because I was an employee in the headquarters, and I felt like there were a lot of skills I could actually transition over and actually bring to London's office. So that part went pretty well initially.
Initially. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you were thinking like, I'm ready for a change. I'm ready to move back abroad again, going to target the UK. And do I need to go hunt for a job or can I potentially transition the job that you're currently in to a new country? So what led you to, did you end up doing a job search outside of your company as well, or did you only look internal?
Yeah, great question. So, because this was such a huge move, I wanted to make sure that I was looking outside and trying to see what the market was like, given the salary that they were providing for me, the kind of skills I can stand to learn. So, I actually did go through a job hunt as well, just to make sure my options were open for me. And I ended up interviewing a separate company that went really well as well. And I also got an offer with them. And I had to decide what I wanted to do from there. And I think the largest thing for me was thinking about when I moved, what obviously the salary would be, if I would to be able to get some time off or flexibility while I get into my new life. And that actually ultimately led me to the decision of staying with my current company because I had more things to work with here and also, a built-in kind of family and systems that I already kind of knew. So that part was a better choice for me at that point.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's really when you and I first started talking and you started getting me engaged in the process was right when you were interviewing with other companies and thinking about like, should I leave? Should I stay? And also how to navigate the company internally as well to see like what your options were. So I mean, was it a smooth process? You and I, when we talked a little bit, you were like, I'm getting feedback from HR in this area and maybe a hiring manager, but tell us a little bit, because it wasn't the smoothest of processes.
Yeah.
It wasn't like everyone in your company was doing this transfer.
So now that I'm here, I'm so excited. Things sound really great. But I remember when you and I were working together, I actually reached out because I was so desperate for help. I just didn't have anyone else to go to. And because, like you mentioned, it wasn't a thing to really be moving people around that much at companies. So I think that was a unique opportunity. And as eager as I was to take it, I wanted to make sure that, I still had the options to fight for the, salaries and things like that I was negotiating for. And I think that's when you were really helpful in terms of how to navigate that because I really wanted to move and they knew I wanted to move and we were stuck in this hold about the salary portion, which actually was my biggest concern because New York and London are both expensive cities and I really wanted to make sure that I would be able to support my new life here. So I think you really helped me navigate how to negotiate and actually who to talk to because I had several different people that I had to work with in the company and I wasn't sure who to go to and what kind of their roles were and what I should be negotiating for versus what they're fighting with me again. So that part, I think you really helped to break down for me. And that was actually really, really beneficial and probably the part that I struggled with the most.
Got it. Okay. And I mean, totally common. It's one of those things where it's like you understand how to negotiate and navigate maybe where your home country and getting a job there. But when it comes to moving internationally, it's like, how much should I be paid? And are they going to transfer me? Or am I going to transfer? Who's going to pay for my visa? So you and I really went through the step by step of here's what HR is thinking. Here's what your hiring manager is thinking. Here's how you should be thinking about it as well. And what other ways did you get clarity in the process working together?
So a lot of it was, I thought of it so simplistically. I thought it would just be transfer my current salary into the new currency I would be getting, but without thinking about the market rate they have here or the company set benchmarks or whatnot they had that I had to think through. And I think you provided me with a lot of options on where to do research, who else to talk to in the HR realm that might not be in the same company. I think that part was really awesome to think about the sites that I had to do my research and really to come up with the reasons that would back my argument of getting a higher salary or why I needed that. All those things were broken out very clearly. And I just was so consumed with the move that I wasn't able to sit down and think through that until you laid them out really clearly for me. And I was going through our notes and emails, and that was just so helpful.
I'm glad. I'm good. I mean, it was one of those things where it was, you were going out and getting different options, which is what I always recommend. It can feel a little bit scary when all your eggs are in one basket if you're only thinking about an international transfer. But the fact that you had gone out, you had gotten a few other interviews, you had another offer, gave you information to be able to make a good decision about what was your best option to move abroad. And I know the salary for you was a sticking point. It was one of those blockers that we had to have conversations on and work through. So tell us a little bit about what happened with your overall package.
So they had offered me a salary amount that I felt like wasn't comparable to what I was making in New York. But, and I didn't know how to fight back, which was the most difficult part. So I wanted to also have leverage with other jobs and actually get an offer to see where I would stand. So what ended up happening was that both companies were offering the exact same salary, but with my current company, I could actually negotiate for a relocation fee. So that wasn't something that actually factored into it. And I was so just focused on fighting the salary part, I forgot that the relocation package was something that could be really beneficial as well. And I ended up, with your guidance, being able to fight them on that. And I got my visa paid for. I thought that was going to be out of pocket for some reason. They ended up paying for that, which wasn't a part of the initial negotiation. So I got a higher overall relocation package, which would have made, my overall salary, I guess, worth more. And because of this current situation with my internal company, I was also able to negotiate for some time off. So some flexibility to work from home, which I wouldn't have gotten in the other job. So as exciting as that part sounded, a whole new life, whole new job as well, I think this was a better package for me to be able to move and, transition at a smoother pace.
Yeah. I mean, Kat, you did a really good job at explaining to the organization that your tenure there, your commitment, the knowledge and wisdom that you were going to bring to this new market, and also the fact that you could transition clients. So no one was being left in limbo. You were able to smoothly transition, worked in your favor of being able to put together and ask for a more robust package. Because obviously their long-term success is linked to your success as well. And so you did a really good job at just explaining your value and your international value, not just at a local level, but an international level as well. And so you ended up taking the internal role and transferring over. So tell us, how has it been 3 weeks in? Are you super happy you took the opportunity? You already see some of the benefits personally and professionally?
So actually really, really happy I took it because I was initially supposed to move around end of September, early October. This was the part I did not foresee. I thought the hardest part would be the negotiations, but my visa was delayed for 2 whole months. I almost thought they lost my passport or something. Something must have happened. So on retrospect, besides all the reasons I listed, I think it was much better that I took this internal job because there was flexibility to start on some of my new clients while I was still in New York. And then kind of be more flexible about when I'm coming over and what we're going to do with my rollout. So I haven't taken my time off yet. That's to come soon. I've actually jumped right in because it's holiday season. I have some built-in friends at work and some holiday parties. So the journey has been great so far. So on retrospect, and that's the reason why I think I'm seeing it with rose-tinted lenses. It's been going really well, much better than I thought it would be. So I'm very thankful,
Good.
and that I actually weighed out all the options, including personal life and transition beyond just the basics of the salary, which was my biggest pain point initially.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so happy for you. You're over there, you're doing it. You've moved into a new country and a new culture. Just super happy for you and happy for what's to come. So just from your point of view, us working together and helping you navigate this process, who else do you feel like would get a lot of use out of how we work together?
I think anyone who's considering an overseas move, definitely. But I would say people that are unsure of how to explain their value, who to present it to, and really the considerations about why you're moving abroad, the reasons for those, and what you're going to need to be able to settle. I think those are things that people don't think about as much because the excitement of traveling abroad and working abroad just overwhelms you. And I think that was a secondary part that you always reminded me of, and thinking about my own value, the transferable skills, and how that all comes into play into the larger picture as well of how I'm going to settle in as well. That was really useful.
Awesome. Good. Super helpful. Thank you, Kat. And again, congratulations and Merry Christmas in London.
Yeah, and I'm drinking my tea.
Love it. Fitting right into the culture already.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
See you.